50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Dream Wager, episode 471. Today is Friday, November 22nd, 2024. We finally got rain over here in the Northeast, kid. How you doing?
It's about that time, Dill. You know, a lot of people was like, I was like, man, let it pour for like a day or two straight.
Yeah.
It's dry. It's damn near dusty everywhere. It smells like fire half of the time. I'm over it. So I'm glad it's raining. And honestly, I hope it continues raining throughout tomorrow.
Yeah, I was looking at the forecast. They said it's supposed to rain for the next 2-3 days, which is good.
Good.
Yeah.
Great.
Get some, it hasn't rained, I feel like, in like 2-3 weeks. It's been like a drought.
Like a month and a half. That's the longest in my life.
Low key, bro. I really want the snow to come. I heard there was going to be flurries, so we'll see. But, the weatherman.
Maybe tonight, it's going to be at like 34, 35.
Yeah, good. Can't wait for it. That means winter is here. I do want to start with the Jets. I can't believe I forgot to talk about Joe Douglas.
I mentioned it last pod, Dale.
Yeah. And it totally skipped my mind. That's how checked out I am. That's literally how checked out I am right now. But remember how I told you, hey, during the bye, we'll still manage to lose the bye? This is it. Everyone wants to talk about Joe Douglas, him being good, him drafting Garrett Wilson, Sauce, Brees, Will McDonald, Braylon Allen, Jermaine Johnson, even though he is hurt. He's a good drafter.
Mm-hmm.
But since 2019, let me read you this. Win percentage 319, that's tied for 30th in the league. Points per game 16.9, that's 32nd in the league. Yards per game 290, that's 32nd in the league. Point margin negative 636, that is 32nd in the league. I mean, for a general manager like Joe Douglas, to have that many impactful players that I just mentioned, Sauce, Jermaine Johnson, Garrett Wilson, to all these young guys to get fired, I think speaks volumes and speaks to a lot more that's going on inside the locker room than a lot of people anticipate. His record, 30-64. I think two things could be true at once. Yes, he's a good drafter and he could get guys onto the team, but he could also have a lot of dysfunction as well going on. I appreciate them going for it. I appreciate them putting their both feet forward and, hey, saying, we got Aaron Rodgers, let's all just go all in. Then you heard reports come out saying Woody Johnson wanted to bench Aaron Rodgers. I mean, and then Joe Douglas came out and said, yeah, that's not going to go over well with the locker room. Yeah, no shit. That wouldn't go over well. So just bad dysfunction. I'm just waiting for the day that Woody Johnson brings his team to London, but not surprised. But we're going to see a lot of change for this team. Coach is out, wrongfully so. He's thriving in Green Bay. Joe Douglas is out now. Aaron Rodgers is going to be out at the end of the year. Kid, I would say this is a shock, but it isn't. If you saw how the season unfolded with that many problems, it was bound to happen. His contract was expiring at the end of this year, but you might as well cut the ties while you can, while you're in your bye. But Woody Johnson, man, and the report was Joe Douglas didn't have any say anymore the last few weeks. It was all Woody Johnson. So that speaks volumes as well.
Yeah, Dale. I could say this. He did draft some key players that turned out to be, Pro Bowlers. Sauce is possibly all-time cornerback. Ahmad.
Please.
No longer Sauce.
Please.
No longer Sauce.
Thank
That's
you.
crazy. But, Ahmad, Sauce Gardner might be an all-time corner. Garrett Wilson, he's special. Brees Hall, he's doing some things. Will McDonald, rookie year slow. This year he's coming alive, Dill. But one thing I could say is he messed up when he hired Nathaniel Hackett. That's when it was, pleasure more than business. You don't hire, somebody's friend to be the offensive coordinator. I understand it's good for business. Maybe bring him in, quarterback coach, something like that, but not to cause the plays. And look how it backfired. Not even what week 5 he got demoted upstairs
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
So it's tough. Just because I think Joe Douglas did some good things, it just didn't lead to victories. Just because this also did draft Zach Wilson. So it sucks, but he had to go. And I think Woody Johnson is doing the right thing, starting all over, rebuild from scratch. Like to me, I didn't agree with the firing Salah, but guess what? If he wants to blow everything up and start over as the owner, I think he deserves to. So I know he's not happy with what has been going on this year, especially last year. So hey, Woody Johnson, I understand, man, but damn, I would have waited till at least the end of the season for Joe.
Real quick, a lot of people are saying, unfortunately, people are losing their jobs, especially in this economy right now. Joe Douglas, Robert Salah, and I think people are putting this on Aaron Rodgers that he has a lot to do with that.
He didn't hire any of those guys. So it's not his fault.
I'd argue that Aaron Rodgers was the only reason that Robert Salah and Joe Douglas had jobs in the first place.
Yeah, because they thought, what, this season was bad. I'm talking about last season.
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron Rodgers would turn it around. That was the mistake on them, not having a backup plan.
Exactly. So, and if they weren't going to get Aaron Rodgers or he wasn't going to come back, they weren't going to bring back Robert Salah. They gave him the benefit of the doubt, and so did Joe Douglas. They were on their last year contracts, and Woody Johnson said, listen, we're going to give it one more hurrah. We're going to go all in, and it didn't work. I think, like I said, I always say this in my favorite line, 2 things could be true at once. I feel like in football, in the business, Joe Douglas just didn't win enough to keep his job. I think that's plain and simple. He also wasn't allowed to do his job properly because of bad ownership from Woody Johnson. I don't think any other GM under Woody Johnson would work under these circumstances. Am I wrong? Am I far-fetched from that, or am I a little too close to the organization?
I say a little bit of both, though, because I feel like I understand Woody Johnson is more of a out there owner than most. I understand that,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you're the New York Jets. You have some type of expectations to win, especially win now. So you have the right pieces, like you said, though. Joe Douglas hit a couple home runs with some of these draft picks. It's just the lackluster quarterback play for the last seems like 10 years now since Mark Sanchez took you back to back AFC Championship games still. So to me, if you're just a quarterback away defensively, yeah, you regress, but maybe you're just a piece or two to get where you guys were last year. You have good weapons. You have Devontae, he's under contract. You have Gary Wilson, he's under contract. Brees Hall still on a rookie deal. You got the pieces there. You did sign some offensive linemen this past offseason too. So you got the pieces in place. You just need a steady quarterback in position, though. Aaron Rodgers, hey, he's just not that guy no more at the moment.
Regardless if I think this is a terrible organization, I will say I think the Jets made the right decision, going back to what you said a little earlier. They needed this, for a team that's not good, who's historically been bad. This team needs a wholesale change quick. New coach, new GM, and including Woody Johnson selling the fucking team. That as well. That needs to, of course, it's not going to happen, but that needs to change as well. So I don't know. It's unfortunate, but yeah, I really wanted to touch on that real quick before we get into it. Any news that you had during the week that you really wanted to touch on? I know Cavs lost. They finally lost to the Celtics.
Cavs lost to the Celtics. They made it interesting late. They were getting blown out midway, but made it close at the end. Yeah, besides, Woody Johnson coming out saying he suggested Aaron Rodgers get benched after the 4-week loss, that was about it, though.
Yeah, that was about it. But all right, kids. So we got a great show. We got week 13 and college football. Got a great game to kick off Saturday. Big noon kickoff. I love how they say that. Got my Florida Gators shirt on. They are at home against Ole Miss. We got number 5 Indiana taking on the Ohio State at the Horseshoe in Columbus. That is a banger of a game as well. We got week 12 in the NFL. I love the slate. I was telling Elvis before we came on here, and I was like, kid, I like the slate. A lot of favorites. We'll see how that goes. But then we got NBA Cup action here on a Friday. We got 8 games that Elvis will break down and have picks for. But kid, let's get into these college plays. Like I mentioned, anything here on Friday that you like? Because I'll start it off. Might be a trap game here, but I like UNLV here on the road taking on San Jose State. They're laying 7.5. Totals around 60.5. I'm going to take the Rebels here on the road. I think this is a really good team, and I just don't trust San Jose State right now. They have a chance to play for that Mountain West, but bad loss against Boise State. Staying home, taking on a really good UNLV team. Just think this is 2 really tough spots here for San Jose State. So I know it's a road spot. Really don't like to lay points here on the road, but I think this is a good spot for them. So I'll lay the 7.5 with UNLV. Anything here for Friday?
Nah, I'm staying away from Friday.
All right, let's get into Saturday. What do we like here? I'll let you kick it off.
Big noon kickoff, Dill. Let's start it off with what you got on, Dill. Ole Miss taking on the Florida Gators. It's a big number, Dill. I understand why it's so big. And I agree with it. Give me the minus 10.5 with Ole Miss. I see the line movement is going to 11.5. I say if it gets up to max 13, I'll probably stay away. But I think Ole Miss, they're better than Florida, though. I think they're way better than Florida. Florida's just been a little disappointing this year. That's all. Give me number 9, Ole Miss, laying the big number on the road.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Virginia. 5-5 Cavaliers taking on SMU. 9-1, laying 9.5 here on the road. I got 9 about a day ago. I'm gonna lay here with SMU. Virginia is just they're a terrible.
The Cavaliers.
They're just bad. They're a basketball school. They are not a football school. So yeah, they've lost 4 of their last 5. Meanwhile, SMU is rolling. It's the best thing for Ohio State as a fan for all these mediocre teams to get in because it makes the pathway for Ohio State to win a national championship easier. So I am going to lay it. I hope SMU. I hope Tulane gets in. I hope Boise State gets in. Everyone, come on in. It'll just make the Buckeyes road that much easier. Lay the 9 with the Mustangs. What's your next play, kid?
Still, let's go. 3:30 start. Colorado on the road taking on Kansas. Still, the Jayhawks. I'm going to lay the 3. I haven't been laying it with Colorado as of late till they're proving me wrong. Shador, Travis Hunter, special. They're great. Still, their defense is really what has been going on lately. Still, I don't know if you know, but that defense is getting after the quarterback relentlessly. They're slowing down the running game just a tad. I understand you might say they're not facing these top schools, but hey, you play what's on the schedule. And Colorado's been doing their thing on both sides of the ball. Yeah. Give me Colorado minus the 3.
My fault. I forgot you mentioned the Ole Miss game. I'm gonna lay the 10.5 with the Rebels here again. How crazy is it? I know.
I thought you had the Gators. That's why I started it off there.
No. I'm gonna take the Rebels here. They've won 3 in a row. They've kind of wrote the wrong after that tough loss. I think that LSU. LSU's a sham. We'll talk about them in a little bit, but yeah, they beat Georgia. They beat Arkansas. They beat OU. Those are 3 good wins. They beat South Carolina. South Carolina is a good team as well. They're a feisty team. By the way, Oklahoma 5-5 in the SEC. Not the best move business-wise. It's good, but it's not good looking good for them. But I know Florida's played okay. They beat LSU. They lost to Texas and Georgia, but they're playing a hard schedule. They lost to Tennessee as well. I'm gonna lay it here with the Rebels. I'm gonna lay the 10.5 here. Let's go to the Ohio State game. Ohio State, Indiana. Ohio State laying 12 at home. Total is at 52. Yeah, kid, I don't get the number. I truly don't. I mean, Ohio State is a good school, but they haven't blown anyone out.
Oh! I thought you was going the opposite way. You got me fooled.
Oh no, I'm taking the Hoosiers, kid. I got 13 a little earlier in the week. Yeah. It's down to 12.5. I got 13. Kid, I would even sprinkle a little on the money line plus 375 as well. I hope they don't win, but I'm going to take the points in my pocket. Indiana, they're a good team. I know the mark on them is they really haven't played anyone, but you play who's in front of you. They scheduled 2 teams that were in the national championship last year, Michigan and Washington. It's not their fault that the programs took a dip. So I like this. Kirk Signetti, bro, I love Kirk Signetti. He represents all American Italians out there for us. So I like Kirk Signetti. 10-0. I mean, they're going to keep this one close, kid. Ohio State is good, but they're not that good this season. So I'm going to take the 13 or 12.5, whatever you are able to get. You said you touched the Colorado game, right? You laid it with the Buffs, or you took Kansas is playing well.
Kansas played well, but Buffalo in that defense still, that's been impressive. We already know what Shador and Travis going to do on the offensive side, but that defense still, they've been spectacular.
Yeah, I agree. I laid the 2.5. I'm starting to see 3s pop out at even money, so shop around. You could still get 2.5s out there. I see -136 as well if you want to just take them straight up, which I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, that's a great number.
I like the Buffs here. I think a lot of people are going to try to fade them and take Kansas. Kansas has been playing really good. They've covered 4 straight games as well. They beat BYU, a really good team. They beat Iowa State. They beat Houston. Kansas, they had a rough start the season, but they've really come along now. But Colorado's on a mission right now. I don't think anyone is going to get in their way. So, yeah, I laid the 2.5 with them. Let's go to my next game. Minnesota hosting Penn State. Penn State laying 11.5. Totals 45.5. I got Minnesota at 12.5 a few days ago. I'll still take the 11.5 in my pocket. Penn State is not good.
Mm-hmm.
I truly don't believe it. They haven't played anyone outside of Ohio State. And they lost that game. Wisconsin. Purdue is a terrible program. Washington, like I just mentioned, just took a step back. I guess another okay win is USC on the road, but they needed overtime to do that. Minnesota is a hard team to go and play. I think it's just too many points, kids. So I'm going to take the Golden Gophers plus the points. I just rattled a few off. You like anything?
Yeah, I love that last play, and I agree with you 100%. You got to take the points against Ohio State just because, they're good. Like you said, they're not great. Great teams cover that big number. Ohio State, they could do it. I just wouldn't bet against it.
And then I'm going to take, let's go to Texas taking on Kentucky. Too many points. Give me Kentucky plus 20.5, kid. Again, like Penn State, who has Texas beat? Who? They haven't beat anyone. Florida, Arkansas. I guess their best win is Vanderbilt on the road, and they barely beat them. They beat them by 3 points, bro. They lost to Georgia. They beat Oklahoma, but Oklahoma's take a major step back. It's just too many points. I'm going to take the 20.5 in my pocket with the Wildcats. Next game for me, I was going to lean Stanford. I thought that was a lot of points against Cal, 13.5. But a game I really do like, I'm going to take Arizona State here, kid. I just think they're the better team. BYU coming off that tough loss against Kansas, now going on the road, taking on an Arizona State team that's really thriving right now. They won 4 of the last 5 games. I'm going to lay the 3.5 or 3, excuse me. There are 3.5s, but I'm going to lay the 3, shop around with the Sun Devils in Tempe, Arizona, kid. I got 2 more plays. Anything else for you?
Yeah, my last play, then I give you a few leans. I'm gonna take Army taking on Notre Dame in the BX.
Yes, at Yankee Stadium.
Dale, give me the plus 14.5 for Army. And guess what, people? Just because we're in the BX, give me a sprinkle of plus 500 on money line. I think Army is live in this game. Army been proving the doubters wrong all season long. They're a ranked team for a reason. And you know how I feel about the Fighting Irish still. They're good, but they're not great. I would not be surprised. 1, they covered. 2, they pulled off the upset. Give me the plus 14.5 with Army. And then like a few other games like Wisconsin versus Nebraska. I like Wisconsin on the road there. I'll take them straight up, sure, plus money, dog. And then another game, I might go to the window though. I might lay with Texas A&M on the road, But other than that, that's all I got.
I love it. I'm going to take Army plus the 14 as well. Too many points. In a baseball stadium, you got to love it. Give me Army. I don't know why. I don't know why they're playing at Yankee Stadium, but I'll take it. And then my last game, Vanderbilt +8, +250 on the money line. They're my dog of the week for college. LSU season is over. They're done. 6-4. They've lost 3 in a row. They've quit. They have nothing to play for. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt is a good team. I think Diego Pavia, the quarterback, is a stud. Yeah, tough loss against the South Carolina team, but they beat Auburn. They beat Kentucky. They have good wins, this Vanderbilt team, especially as underdogs. So LSU, they quit. They lost to Florida. They lost to Bama. They lost to A&M. This team is done. So, yeah, I'm going to take Vanderbilt +8, +250 on the money line. It very, very, very good. I like that play a lot. Anything else, kid?
Nah, that's all, Dill. That's all. Let's have a great weekend in
Yeah.
college.
Let's fucking go. All right, before we get to NFL Week 12, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We favor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys, or a new flavor, coconut, watching NFL Sunday, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. Sunday night football. I'm already skipping. Sunday will start. I think there's like 6-7 games in the 1 o'clock and only 3 games in the 4 o'clock window. That's the worst. We talked about that last week. Why?
Dill. I mean, it is a short week, Dill. You know, a lot of teams are on bye. I think this is the most bye teams on a bye week 12. So short week, I'm okay with it this week. But when it's 9 games and then 3, that's an issue.
We have breaking news in the NHL real quick. I'm sorry to derail the program, but Alexander Ovechkin, the greatest goal scorer of all time, fractured his left fibula, and he's expected to miss a month and a half to 2 months. Fuck the Utah Hockey Club. I don't know if you saw this, but he's leading the league in scoring at his age. He's 26 goals away from tying Wayne Gretzky's goal record, 27 from breaking it. And he scored 2 goals. I think it was the other night against Utah. And then he's on a breakaway, and a guy fucking puts his knee out, and they go knee to knee on purpose. And then obviously one of their goons from Washington fought the guy.
Yeah, of course.
Rightfully so. The guy did that shit on purpose. And now, look, out 2 months. Yo, he was on pace to break it.
Shaking my head, man.
Sorry, that just got me fucking frustrated because that's the greatest goal scorer I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, let's get to it. Week 12, 3 4 o'clock games, and we got a bunch of 1 o'clock games. And we will start in the Windy City. The Chicago Bears hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings laying 3.5 on the road, -180 on the money line. Bears +152, total 39.5. Kid, this one was interesting. You know, Bears, they're looking towards Thanksgiving against the Lions here next Thursday. But this is the 4th road game in 5 games and 3rd straight road games for the Vikings. It has to take a toll on their body at this point. I mean, I like the Vikings. I just think this could be a bad spot for them. 3rd road spot, like I said. They haven't been playing the best football. Sam Darnold, I'm still weary about. He had a good game last one, but you know, I really wanted to take the Bears in this spot, but Brian Flores against a rookie quarterback.
You got that Bill Belichick behind you.
I know. That's why I did it. I like the matchup, but this team has to be tired, kid. You know, Bears, they almost beat the Packers last week. They played the Packers pretty well in a division road spot. I feel like this could be a field goal game. Give me the Bears +3.5.
I love it there. I'm leaning towards that way. I might go there official, but I'm right there with you. I think the Bears, coming off a tough loss last week against Green Bay, 4 straight losses. Vikings looking like they're getting it back on track. I feel like the Chicago Bears are just due for a win. I wouldn't be surprised they win outright. A little sprinkle at plus 162. It's a lot of noise going on. Not for nothing. You keep talking about coaches getting fired. If Matt Eberflus loses 5 in a row, middle of the season, it might be
It's
ball games for him.
crazy. It's crazy because they're not known historically to fire coaches in the middle of the season, but they did let go of Shane Waldron. They let go of their offensive coordinator.
I know this is weird. If they lose 5 straight in division, 2 back-to-back home games, where honestly you should have won last week.
Yeah.
You got embarrassed by my Patriots the week prior to that, 19-3. You got to put that in consideration. Now you lose 5 straight games, you're out of there. I'm gonna take him, Dale. I think he plays for his coaching career. Give me the plus 3.5. Give me the
I love it
on the money line.
I love it. We're on the same side. What could go wrong? Let's go. Let's actually stay here. Let's stay here. Let's go to MetLife. Tommy DeVito gets the starting job. Honestly, I feel for Drew Lock. He was confused at the I guess he had an interview in the locker room. He was like, as far as I know, I thought I was QB too. I feel bad, but you talk about coaching and guys coaching for their job. Is it far-fetched to say Brian Dable is coaching for his job?
Me personally, I would say no, just because I feel like he's been calling some great plays. Daniel Jones just hasn't been able to find the open wide receiver. We saw it tons of times why the receivers are frustrated because they're wide open and Daniel Jones not able to get on the balls, taking the sack, or doing something else with it. For the Drew Lock situation, I agree with him. I honestly thought I texted you saying Drew Lock probably outplayed Daniel Jones in the bye week during practice. 20 minutes later, we see it's Tommy DeVito. I personally think I could be 100% wrong, but I think I'm right about this one. I think the Giants said, you know what? Tú sabes qué? We're 2-8. Let's just sell some tickets. And I think Tommy DeVito definitely will put more asses in the seats than Drew Lock. That's also, I understand from a business perspective, why not? Does Tommy DeVito give you the better opportunity to win games? In my opinion, no. But did he prove he could win some last year? Absolutely. So I understand why they went with it. But to me, in my opinion, Drew Lock is the better quarterback.
Yeah, I would agree.
Real quick.
Yeah.
What's the point of giving Drew Lock $5 million?
It's free.
No. Dylan, hear me out. You signed Drew Lock $5 million to do what?
Chill.
You should have gave that money to Saquon for an office. That's my point, Dylan. This is a blunder right here. If Drew Lock was never going to be your QB2, why didn't you just, let's hold off on that side and let's give that extra 5 minutes to Saquon Barkley? Dylan, this is basic. This is basic, Dylan. This is a huge mistake. There's no reason why Drew Lock is not starting this week, Dylan. You gave that man $5 million that honestly could have went to Saquon Barkley.
Are you eligible to become a GM to make some of these decisions? Because I feel like these are kind of no-brainers.
You know me, I always look at it from the business perspective. I'm always going to put the team first. Fuck your feelings. Fuck that personal shit. It's business before pleasure. I don't know, Dill. Maybe some of these teams used to holler at me, but Drew Lock should be starting this week. I paid that man $5 million for what?
And I also think you would do it at half the rate as well.
Absolutely, half the rate. I don't need that much. And watch me. I'll earn a bonus within 2 years. I guarantee it, just because I'm going to make things happen.
I love it. Yeah, no, I agree. I think Drew Lock should be starting, but I understand also why they are starting Tommy DeVito. I think he would put more seats in the fans with the demographic.
Just off that alone, especially where we at, tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, that's at least 10,000 tickets.
Yeah,
at least.
But as for this game, both teams coming off a bye. Mike Evans looks like he will come back to play. Giants have the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, so looking ahead as well. I think this is a good spot here for the Bucks, kid. I'm gonna probably lay the 5.5 here with the Bucks. Their defense has been good. I think Todd Bowles will be able to get pressure on Tommy Cutlets. The front seven is good, and Baker Mayfield off a bye has a good connection with Mike Evans. Getting his number one back is really going to do something for him. Todd Bowles having a week to prepare, or a few days because it was announced this week. But regardless, he was either preparing for Drew Lock or Tommy DeVito. So yeah, I like the Bucks here, kid. I think it's a good teaser spot, but I'm gonna lay the 5.5 here with the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm feeling that way. Coming off a bye week, loses what 4 straight games. You get your number one back there. We know that connection is special. I think Mike Evans gonna be very close to 100%, if not 100%, when he steps on that field. Baker Mayfield in this offense been dying for the number one wide receiver, and they get it back. Defensively, though, like you said, I think Todd Bowles is gonna dice him up. Maybe not, pitch a shout out, nothing like that, but maybe 3 to 5 sacks. Who knows? But I feel like Tampa's defense, especially after that bye week, gonna get after the quarterback, and I expect Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans that connection to click. So I'm gonna be honest though, this is lock of the week potential.
Oh
Give me the
wow.
-5, 5.5, -6, and then give me Mike Evans. Welcome back, Mike Evans, over 51.5 receiving yards. I did see it jump up to 56. To be honest, people, the number's disrespectful. I understand he's coming off a high ankle sprain, but this is Mike fucking Evans. I still take him right now to get 1,000 yards. I wouldn't shock me if he does it in these last 7 games. So give me Mike Evans over 56.5. I call 51.5. That number was so give me over 56.5. And by the time people listen to this, wouldn't be surprised if it's like 58, 59,
It
60.
might close around 60. You never
Yeah,
know.
you should take it. Anything under 65, take it.
Let's go to your New England Patriots on the road taking on the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins laying a touchdown, -7 at home, -390 on the money line, +310 for your Patriots. Total 46.5. This one was very interesting for me, kid, but I'll let you lead it off. This is your team. What do you got?
To be honest, it's too many points. Give me the +7.5 with the Patriots. Still like the +7. Give credit Miami to cover last week against the Raiders, but I think we're a little better than the Raiders. Drake May
Mhm.
has been performing a little better week in and week out. And defensively, though, we're better than we were the first 4 weeks of the season. So to be honest, give me the +7. I'm gonna take the under 46 and 46 still.
Mm.
Those are my two official plays for this game. I think we keep it close and it's gonna be tight. I'm gonna say 20-17.
Dolphins, they do have the night game on Thanksgiving this year. I'm sorry, kid, but I just think this might be a good spot for the Dolphins. They've been playing good
Good luck.
football. And recently, the Dolphins have owned the Patriots. Granted, it hasn't been the same Patriots, but still, I do think Drake May is good. I think he's very interesting. He can move the ball. He can put up points. Maybe look towards a Hunter Henry prop as well. I think he could have a big game. Brock Bowers was able to get anything he wanted against the Dolphins. I
Yeah.
think it's a good teaser spot, no matter which way you want to go.
Oh, Also, give
But
me Hunter Henry over 45.5 receiving yards at -115. Forgot about that play. Got 3 plays in this one. Invested.
I told you it was a good spot for Hunter Henry,
Mm-hmm.
so you're welcome.
Now, I've been taking him like I think what 3 straight weeks now in the cash. So if the number keep going under 50, Hunter Henry's honestly might be our wide receiver one since Drake May been the starting quarterback.
Yeah, so I'm going to lay the 7. They've just owned the Patriots right now. I do think Christian Gonzalez banged
It's
up Tyreek Hill. I think he will eliminate him, but there's just a lot on this offense that I don't know this defense could stand.
it's a new era, Dill. It's a
Yeah.
new era.
I love it. All right, let's go to the next game. We'll go down to Houston. Texans hosting the Tennessee Titans. A little in division AFC South division matchup in Houston. Texans laying 7.5 at home, -400 on the money line, +315 for Will Levis and the Titans. Total is at 40.5. Kid, Texas on a short week here. They played on Monday Night Football. I'll keep this one short, Elvis. I don't know how anyone could take the Titans here. D'Amico Ryans is undefeated as a coach versus the Titans. Will Levis stinks. And Titans, they just can't stop the run, or they can stop the run, excuse me. But the Texans just have too many weapons for CJ Stroud and this offense to not blow them out. I know they haven't been the best team covering the big number this year, but this is another game where I feel like if you don't feel comfortable laying the 7, 7.5, whatever, I'd put them down to a teaser. I think this is another good teaser spot, but Texans should win this game comfortably. I'll lay the 7, 7.5, whatever you're able to get with the Texans.
I do lean that way with Truedale, but I'm gonna take it another route. I'm gonna take a player prop in this one as my official play. Give me Nico Collins over 73.5 receiving yards at -115. I think this number, we saw in the first play last week. The guy took his 75 yards. He got called back. He doesn't get that play called back. The guy has over 125 yards on the day. He finished with 54 yards still. I think he goes over his prop this week. Give me the over 73.5 at minus 115.
All right, let's go to the next game. I love how we keep that one short because his bad teams. Maybe we could keep this one short too. Let's go out to Carolina. Panthers hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs laying double digits, 10.5 on the road, minus 650 on the money line. Panthers plus 480. Total is at 43.5. Kid, we taking the Panthers here?
Give me the Panthers plus 11, Dale. Don't forget, people, Panthers coming off 2 in a row. First time in Bryce Young's young career. Winners of 2 straight. Kansas City coming off a bad loss in Buffalo, Dale. Now I'm gassing it, people. But I am taking the plus 11. I wouldn't be surprised if some way, somehow, Kansas City, chills on a win 28-20. Something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina scores a late touchdown when they're down, 16 points or something, and they make it, a 9-point game. So I do think Kansas City bounced back, but I think Carolina, they lose by 10 points. They'll give me the plus 11.
All right. For me, this game, it was easy. I think there's a case to make for Carolina, but Chiefs on a back-to-back road spot. They're also looking to head towards the Raiders on Black Friday. They play this season, and the whole season, Chiefs just haven't been good as big favorites. Adam Thielen is back for the Panthers. Call me crazy, but coming off a loss, I think I'm going to lay the double digits here with the Chiefs here on the road. And when it comes down for me in this game, it was a simple handicap. I just don't think this Panther team is good. And I feel like Steve Spagnuolo and his defense is going to give Bryce Young fits all day. I know, the cute play would be Carolina, but when people are zigging, I'm going to be zagging. I'm going to lay the 10.5 here with the Chiefs. It's probably going to cost me, but I don't care at this point. Let's go to the DMV. Washington Redskins hosting the Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Are we going to see Trey Lance here?
I personally hope. I don't think Cooper Rush been playing bad. Like I said, I just feel
he had a career game last week.
I just feel like if for business purposes, I'll throw Trey Lance out there to see what I could get in the offseason for him. Because you just made Dak the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. You're not going nowhere else at the quarterback position for at least the next 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, we got to see them him versus Tommy DeVito next. That's what we got to do.
Facts.
So
on Thanksgiving, all the eyes gonna be watching.
Redskins laying 10.5 at home, minus 520 on the money line. Plus 400 for the Cowboys. Over under is at 44.5. Cowboys on short rest. Cowboys, they got a little bit of extra playing on Thursday Night Football. And Redskins are getting a little healthier as the weeks go on. We'll see if Marshawn Lattimore gets going and finally starts his first game here. But Cowboys looking ahead towards Thanksgiving against the Giants. Mike McCarthy just isn't good as a big underdog in his career. I think this is the perfect get-right spot for the Redskins. Also, revenge spot for Dan Quinn. I think he's going to put it on this Cowboy offense. I think the Redskins dominate this game. I'm surprised the number isn't 11-12. I'll lay the points here. I know it's a lot of points, but I'm going to lay the double digits here at home with the Redskins.
Yeah, I'm thinking opposite, man. I'm going to take the plus 10.5, plus 11 with the Cowboys. This is why. These are two head coaches who, for the past 3 years, matched up against one another every single day. They're going to know each other's very well. I wouldn't be surprised if Dan Quinn knows some of the things that's, going on. I wouldn't be surprised if Mike McCarthy knows some of the things that's going on the opposite side, Dill. I think they're going to keep it close, Dill. The secondary for the Cowboys know what Dan Quinn likes to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if both sides are able to create some turnovers. I think they keep it close still. Give me the plus 11. Give me the under. I think this is another under game. Don't get me wrong. Commanders been scoring the hell of the ball, but the offense for the Cowboys, they've been struggling. I think defensively, they're going to fight for their head coach, Mike McCarthy. Show Dan Quinn, we can still do this without you. But I also think on the other side that the Commanders are going to fight for their head coach. I do think they prevail, but that's too many points. Give me the under and give me the plus 10.5 with the Dallas Cowboys.
Last 1 o'clock game, we'll go out to Indianapolis Colts hosting the Detroit Lions. Lions laying 7.5 here on the road, minus 405 on the money line. Colts plus 7.5, plus 320 on the money line. Total at 50.5. Both teams have been great against the spread this season. Lions looking ahead towards Thanksgiving. I feel like this might be a good spot to take the Colts, kid. Non-conference road spot where the Lions don't really need this game. I think the Colts have a solid defense. I think they could get after Goff, force some pressure. And Lions haven't done the best against mobile quarterbacks. I think Anthony Richardson could have a good game as well. So, yeah, give me plus 7.5, kid. I'm going to take the Colts here at home.
Yeah, I do lean with you. I do like the plus 7.5, but I say the Lions do need this game. I think the Lions have their eyes on the prize still. Their eyes is on that number one seed. It cost them last year. Who knows? Maybe if that game is in Detroit, not in San Francisco, maybe Detroit goes marches on to the Super Bowl. I think they got their eyes on the number one seed deal. I do like the plus 7.5, but I don't know. It's Detroit deal. I also like the over. I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts put up, like 20, 21. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions are somewhere to 38 to 45 points again. So I like the over 50.5, and I'm with you. I'll lean the plus 7.5.
Let's go out to Vegas. Raiders hosting the Denver Broncos. Broncos laying 6.5 here on the road, minus 275 on the money line, plus 225 for the Raiders. Total is at 41.5. I can't lie. I'm a believer. I like him. I think this team is good. Under Sean Payton, he has one of the best coaches as a rookie. They have a top 5 defense. Raiders stink on defense. I think they're 28th in DVOA in the league. I think we can see another huge game from Bo Nix in this offense. -7 seems a little low, to be honest. I think they should be double-digit favorites. We've seen this offense really turn around. Cortland Sutton has been good. Marvin Mims have been getting involved with this offense. And Raiders are banged up right now. What are the Raiders going to do offensively outside of Brock Bowers that really scares you? They don't scare me, and I don't think they scare this Broncos defense. I'm going to lay it with Bo Nix. I'm a believer.
Yeah. I'm with you. Denver's definitely been very surprising. I think Denver, one of those shocking teams. Bo Nix has been outplaying, to be honest, most rookie quarterbacks this year so far. I'm with you, though. You gotta leave the 6 here. In my opinion, Denver's better than Miami. Miami was able to cover last week, so give me the -6 with Denver.
Let's go to the next game. Green Bay Packers hosting the San Francisco 49ers. Green Bay laying 2.5 here at home, -144 on the money line. 49ers plus 122. Over under is at 47.5. This one was a tough one for me. I'm not going to lie. 49ers don't look good, but I still got that love for them. But, coming off that Super Bowl, they got the hangover bad. They don't look good. They might get George Kittle back. He said he's going to play, but they're banged up right now. Packers, they are looking ahead towards Thanksgiving. The question is, can the 49ers bounce back? I don't know. They're hurt. Bosa doesn't look good. They couldn't get a pass rush when he went out of the game. Brock Purdy doesn't look good. George Kittle is banged up. We'll see if he goes. Revenge spot for Robert Saleh versus the 49ers. He knows this defense. I truly, kid, looking at this, I didn't get it. I don't get the number. I love the Packers here. This might be lock potential for me. I thought they should be at least a 4 or 5 point favorite here at home. I'm going to lay the 2.5 here with the Packers.
Still, I'm surprised you going this way. Give me the Green Bay Packers. I called it -135 on the money line. Right now it's a little too rich, so I'll lay the 2.5 for the people listening. To be honest, I understand San Francisco, good team, all the potential is there, but they just haven't been able to win tight games. Brock Purdy took a step back. I think all the injuries throughout the season is just showing right now. Deebo Samuel came out. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, saying he's frustrated. This is his most frustrating career of his year of his career. So, Dale, I'm with you. Give me the Green Bay Packers -135 on the money line, minus the 2.5, whatever you can get, people.
All right. Last game for the 4 o'clock window. Let's go out to Seattle. Seahawks hosting the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals short favorite, so it's a pick, a -108 both ways on the money line. Total 47.5. Cardinals coming off a bye. Should be a weather game. Should be a lot of rain here in Seattle. I feel like this is the ultimate letdown spot here for the Seahawks. Cardinals, they're rested, coming off a bye, and they're the team that could pound the rock with James Conner. Kenneth Walker, they're not the best offensively. I can't trust Geno, especially in bad weather. I don't understand this line. This is another game where I think why are they getting disrespected, the Cardinals? They should be 3-point favorites here. The Cardinal team is just much better, in my opinion. I don't think Mike McDonald is good. I think he tried to act a little too smart. I don't think he's that good. And this Arizona team is battle tested, kid. They played better teams and they've won better games. Seahawks just had their biggest win of the season last week. Now is the perfect time to fade them. Might be lock potential as well. Give me -1.5. Give me -2.5. I love the Cardinals here tomorrow on Sunday.
Still, give me the Cardinals -105 on the money line. To me, this should be a little bigger favorite. I understand Seattle just beat the San Francisco 49ers on the road, but they got lucky. The offense was kind of struggling in the first half of the game, and prior to that, they haven't looked good. So I'm not gonna chalk too much against a win against San Francisco. I'm gonna say San Francisco lost it more than Seattle won it. Give me Arizona. To me, they've been impressive all season long. Defensively, they've been getting better week in and week out. And Kyler Murray, quietly having a great season. I understand Marvin Harrison not having the rookie season everybody expected, but he's doing okay. James Conner's doing his thing. I think Cardinals are live though. Give me the Cardinals -105 on the money line, and I'm surprised they're not a bigger favorite.
Sunday night football. Let's go out to LA. The Rams hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles laying 2.5. Probably will close around 3. It's -124, 2.5, -146 on the money line. +124 for the Rams. Total is at 48.5. Kid, I will let you lead this one off. What do you got?
I'm gonna be honest still. At the 2.5 number, that's a tough number to play. Don't get me wrong, the Eagles have been looking like one of the best teams in football. Can't deny it. Last 5, 6, maybe even 7 weeks, Eagles have been rolling. Nick Sirianni definitely turned this team around after early criticism. Jalen Hurts been playing better, no turnovers. Saquon Barkley quietly edging his name for the offensive player of the year. I like the fact Dallas Scott is gonna be back. Devontae, Aaron, AJ Brown is gonna be healthy. Defensively, though, that's young secondary. They're amazing. They're playing at a high level. Can they slow down Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp? They did a great job last week against the Commanders, though, but the Rams ain't the Commanders. Matthew Stafford ain't Jaden Daniels. And we know Sean McVay is going to try to call a hell of a game. This is tough, though. I do lean with the Eagles, but I think the Rams are live in this scenario. I think the Rams are live dogs at home. I think the Eagles are due for a loss. Wouldn't be surprised if they win here at all. But I do like the Rams.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree more. I'm going to be on the Eagles here. I'm going to lay the 2.5. I think they're still fighting. The 1 seed is up for grabs. I think they're the better team. Everyone is all over the Eagles, which does worry me. That does worry me a little bit. But this defense has been stacked right now. I know they started the season a little slow, but that young secondary has really shut people down, man. Quinion Mitchell from Toledo is going to be a top 5 corner in the league very soon. I mean, what he's been able to do, they had to do a silent count last week for Jalen Carter. He is just a menace up front. They have to double team that guy every time, kid. So I love it. I know Jalen Hurts on the road as a favorite historically hasn't been good, but this season he has been a little better. I just have a tough time seeing how this offense for the Rams could keep up with the Eagles offense. I worry, though, if the Eagles wind up beating the Rams are done. And this is like a must win for the Rams, right?
Yes, just because the NFC, but it all depends. If Seattle loses, if Arizona loses still,
that's fair.
They have a chance for the division. I'll say they're live for the division. I don't think they possibly make a wild card spot.
Yeah. All right, kid. And then Monday Night Football is a good one with the Ravens and Chargers. We'll talk about that on Sunday night. But, kid, good luck week 12. I love the slate. Should be a good one. Let's go over to the association. Like I said,
we don't got to lock dog
Oh,
teaser?
we do. Oh
Come
my
on,
god, I
baby. Come
forgot.
on. I'll
Lock
start it off,
dog.
dog.
Yeah,
I'll
you got
start
it.
it off, though. Lock of the weekend. Lock of Sunday. Give me Tampa Bay -5 coming off a bye week. I understand. I understand the hype for Tommy DeVito. You know, I'm from Jersey. I like it. I understand it. But Tampa Bay off a bye. Mike Evans is back. They lost what 4 straight close games. Still, I want to be surprised if it's a blowout. Give me Tampa -5. And another lock I do like is the Hunter Henry once again over 45.5. But the lock is Tampa -5. Dog of the week, Dill. This one is tough. This one is tough. I want to go my Patriots. Dill, I'm gonna say the Rams. Dog of the week. Not too confident, but I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think they're live at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. And then my three-way teaser. Give me the Rams plus 8.5. Tease them up to 8.5. People, like I said, I think they're live dogs. I think they make it close. At home, Dylan says this is a must-win game. I'm gonna go there. Sean McVay thinks this is a must-win game. I think they're gonna show out and show up. Give me the Rams plus 8.5. Give me Denver down to a pick 'em. I do think I like the -6, but we playing it safe, people. We trying to get money over here. Give me Denver down to a pick 'em, and then my last leg of the 3-leg teaser, Dill. Give me Detroit down to -1.5, just to play it safe. I did like how the Colts did play last week. Anthony Richardson, 50-50 what he's gonna play like, but give me Detroit down to -1.5. That's my 3-way 6-point teaser. Rams to 8.5. Detroit, Denver to a pick 'em. Detroit to -1.5.
I'm gonna start with my teaser, ugly one, but I'm gonna tease Miami down from 7 to 1. I'm gonna tease Houston from 7.5 to 1.5. And I'm going to tease Kansas City down from 10.5 to 4.5. I know it's ugly. I don't even get the 3. It's ugly, but they should do it. It's Carolina. As my lock, I liked a lot. I like Philly. I like Arizona. I like Green Bay as well. I'm going to lock up Arizona, though. I don't understand the line. This team continues to get disrespected. They could run the ball. Kyler Murray's playing well. Trey McBride has been playing well. Defense has been getting after the quarterback in a shitty weather game. And let's face it, back in the day when we were growing up, people feared going into the 12th man, going into Seattle. I don't think they fear anymore. This is not a tough place to play. Give me Arizona as my lock -1.5. As my dog, I did like the Colts. That's just a little too much, though, I think. Give me the Bears. I think Sam Darnold has regressed. He played a good game last week, but I think Caleb Williams is going to do just enough. They played well without Shane Waldron last week against the Packers in a game they should have won. Back against the wall. You said it, Matt Eberflus coaching for his job. I worry about Flores and this rookie quarterback in that matchup, but I'm just going to bank on Sam Darnold stinking this week. Give me the Chicago Bears at home plus 152 as my dog of the week. Kid, good luck. Let's have a hell of a week 12. Let's go over to the association. Like I said, 8 games here on a Friday. The Cup game. We got some good games though. Indiana Pacers, Milwaukee. We have Bulls, Hawks. That's kind of a pick 'em right now as well. Your Nets taking on the 76ers. What are we feeling here for Friday?
Yo, Friday night NBA Cup action. Gotta love it. Yo, let's take it on. My Brooklyn Nets taking on the 76ers. Don't get me wrong, 76ers. I'm gonna be saying this for a while. Couple must-win games, but we keep it close. Give me the Brooklyn Nets. I caught the plus 7.5 early. I still like the plus 6.5. I'll maybe stop at 5. I say Philly wins by 4 or 5. But wouldn't be surprised we pull off the upset deal. Give me the Nets plus 7.5, plus 6.5, whatever you could get. Next game, the Warriors taking on the Orleans Pelicans still. Pelicans, disappointing, but it's a lot of injuries still. Shout out Willie Green. Give me the Golden State Warriors on the road -8. To be honest, though, they might go for the cup. Who knows? Next game, Pacers taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks slowly but surely, Dill. Slowly but surely. Winners 4 out of the last 5. Pacers, man, they're struggling. Lost what? 4 of the last 5. I'm gonna take a shot. Give me the Pacers +5 on the road. I took the +4 early. Love the +5. Hopefully by tomorrow is at +6. I might take them again. Who knows? But I think the Pacers keep it close. Let's not forget, people, they made it to the Cup Finals last year. Next game, Portland taking on the Houston Rockets. Still 12.5 points is too much. I'ma just play it safe. I put Rockets in a 2-way teaser with Atlanta. So I tease Atlanta up. They're at 1.5 against Chicago. I tease them up to +7.5, and then I tease Houston down. Called them earlier at 9.5. Tease them down to 3.5. At 12, and I still tease them down, people. I think Houston wins, but to lay 12.5, that's a lot of points still. So I think the best way to play is a 2-way teaser. Boston and Washington. We just saw Boston beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, but to lay 15 on the road, Dill, that's too many points for me to lay. But I do lean it, and then no spread out or anything for the Dallas Denver game. Luka is out for a couple weeks with a wrist injury. Sad to hear. But hey, they still got Kyrie. They still got Klay Thompson. I think they'll be just fine. But I do lean with Denver at home, whatever the spread is. And then my last game of the night, Sacramento Kings take on the Los Angeles Clippers. Over in the sitting at 222.5. I'm going to take the +4 at home with the Clippers. In the Cup game, don't get me wrong. The Kings should win this game, but hey, Clippers, they fight, they crawl. You know how I feel by Ty Lue. Give me the +4 with Clippers at home.
Yeah, Clippers right now. I'm looking at the standings for the Cup right now. Clippers not doing so well. Where are they? I just had them. Oh, yeah, they're 0-1. They're in last place in the West Group A right now. You guys aren't doing so bad. Knicks 2-0 with the Magic, 2-0 as well.
We won one. I think we're 1-1.
Yeah, you guys are 1-1. You lost to the Knicks and you beat Charlotte.
Yes, sir.
My question, because yes, I'll say this to all the Philly fans. Last thing I wanted to say on the NBA, because we're seeing Paul George hurt again. 2-12, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen
worst record in the NBA.
Yeah, and we've seen Milwaukee. Fuck it, the Utah Jazz have a better record at this point than them. Washington is 2-11. My thing is, we've seen Bucks have a bad start, but they've kind of turned it around a little bit. They're 6-9, tied with you guys and the Pacers. At what point do we say, okay, it's not November basketball anymore? Around Christmas? Because at a certain point, they got to start winning games, kid.
I think it's after Thanksgiving. Let them, chill out. I say they got to start turning around right before December. Like, soon as December 1st hits, I needed to win 4 out of 5 for the rest of the season. You need to win 4 out of 5. Every 5-game stretch, you got to win 4 out of 5. Get it done.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see what they do, kid. But good luck this weekend. Good luck in the NBA. Good luck week 12 in the NFL and week 13 in college. Any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
Let's just have a great weekend and go Army. Pull off the upset, baby.
Let's fucking go, kid. Good luck. God bless.